But when you become the person who leans into discomfort and takes action, even if the steps are small at first, you see a person who's taking action. And as human beings, we all need to be in that journey of growth. And if we ever stop because you think you've made it to some destination, you've gotten off track, you've gotten stuck in a rut. There is no end. There is just the journey. What's up, my friend? I'm health expert Ted Rice, and today I'm coming to you from Thailand. Yes, I'm still in Thailand, and it looks like we're going to be here a little bit longer than I thought. In fact, we got a trip to Penang, Malaysia. Then we're coming back to Thailand and then to Istanbul, Turkey, and finally to the US. That's the plan now, but who knows? It could change. That's the crazy kind of stuff that happens when you're a digital nomad living life on the road. So I'm super excited to share this episode with you today. It's been something that's been on my mind for a while. And I want to make an assumption here. I want to assume that you want more in life. I mean, isn't that why you're listening to a podcast named Legendary Life? And I'm going to also assume that yeah, you want to look better, you want to lose a few pounds, you want to improve your health, you want to do the right things in the gym, you want to take the right supplements. But even more, don't you want to have the experience like you're really living life? Isn't that what it's really about? Is it really about looking in the mirror and seeing a difference in your body? Or is it about the feeling you get when you look in the mirror? Is it really about stepping on the scale and seeing the number down? Or is it really about the feeling that you get? Is it really about making more money? Or is it about the feeling that you get? And once we move past the superficial and get to the truth, we start to realize that the feeling is everything. If we're feeling amazing, if we're in that peak state, then everything goes effortless for us. But when we're not, it feels like we're always working uphill, like we're always pushing that boulder uphill, and it just gets so tiring. So if this is your first time listening to the Legendary Life podcast, what we usually talk about is breaking down science-based information on how to lose fat, prevent disease, and live a longer, healthier life. But on Real Talk Fridays, we take it a little bit deeper than biochemistry and exercise physiology and longevity science and supplementation. We talk about the mindset. So if that's what you're interested in, you're going to love today's episode. Now, I want to tell you about a time where I wanted something different and I was making big mistakes. So I was in my 30s, living in an apartment in Miami Beach, being a personal trainer, working as a personal trainer, training millionaires and celebrities. And I had been doing that for, I guess, 15 plus years at that point. And I was single, so this is before I was married. And I wanted to experience more in life. Now, I had made a breakthrough coming back into personal training. I actually left personal training for a while to go back to school. And when I found myself back in it, in personal training after my stepmother died from a heart attack and my dad's health started going downhill, I stepped up to help him, ended up dropping out of school. And when I found myself back in personal training again, I was determined to not make the same business mistakes, financial mistakes that I made the first time around. I was determined to do it differently. And I did. Instead of investing in going to seminars, learning about all the, health and fitness, nutrition stuff, I invested in developing my business and it paid off. I started doing better. And with that money that I made, I was looking around. Miami Beach, people have no idea. It's a very competitive place. Now, only if you choose to engage in the game that people play there, because it's really about that. But I got sucked into the game. And what is the game that I'm talking about? The money game, the showing off game, the getting respect from people game by dressing a certain way, driving a certain car, presenting yourself a certain way. So I wanted more success financially. I wanted more respect from people. I wanted clients lining up to work with me. That's what I wanted. I also wanted to meet more women. I was single at the time, and I didn't feel good about where I was. I wanted more. And I wanted to feel like, yes, I'm doing the right thing. I wanted to feel in the zone. You know, that feeling where, again, everything seems effortless and things just seem to be happening to you and they're great. You go on dates, you say the right things, you talk to potential clients, you say the right things, they want to sign up with you, and your current clients love you. And for you, maybe, okay, you don't have clients, maybe you have coworkers and a boss, or maybe you run a company. But whatever it is, everything moves so smoothly most of the time. But for me at that time, I felt like I was just constantly working against things. I would show up to my clients and I would fake it until I made it, right? I'd try to have the smile on my face. I'd try to act like I was happy. I would make jokes, and I did a good job of it. But deep down inside, I was unhappy and beyond unhappy. I was really miserable with where I was. I felt like I was stuck in a rut, and I knew I needed to do something, and I started taking action. And so what did I do? I bought a BMW X5. I thought, you know what? This car says success, and I'm pulling up to multi-million-dollar mansions, and I'm pulling up to these condominiums with multi-million-dollar condos. And I want people to know, hey, I'm doing well financially. So I bought that car. I also bought clothes. I bought the $300, diesel jeans and True Religion jeans. And, when those were popular, and I would invest in the way I looked. So that when I went to parties at my clients, when I was talking to other people, when I was out at dinner, if I ran into anybody or talked to anybody, I would give off the right presence. I bought a nice watch, spent a couple grand on a nice watch. So I'd wear that around so people would, respect me. I invested in furniture. I spent a couple grand on a couch and a couple more grand on a painting and a rug and some other things, so that when people came over to my place, they would say, wow, you really, this is a nice place. And so I spent a lot of money trying to feel better. I had a big screen TV that had this 3D capability. I had all this stuff. And at the same time, and this is going to be important in a bit, people were like, hey man, why don't you come? Hey, let's do a trip together. I didn't have the money to go on a trip. I was like, no, I can't. I don't have the money to do that right now. And the truth is, I did have the money, but I kept buying clothes. I was like addicted to buying clothes, all the designer clothes. I spent a few $100s on shoes, a couple hundred on jeans, maybe $100 or $200 on a shirt. And I thought I was doing the right thing. But here's what happened. None of those things I invested in, the car, the clothes, the nice furniture in my place, none of those changed me as a person. And this is what I couldn't see. I was the same person. I was wearing nicer clothes, but I'd show up. I was the same person. I was the same miserable person going to my clients. I also spent money, investing in Lululemon outfits. I only wore Lululemon or Rhone or expensive clothes to go train my clients and expensive sneakers. I wanted people to see, hey, this guy he's got money because he's showing up and he's invested in this stuff and he's doing well. He's doing, so I want to work with him or whatever. But what it never changed was my vibe. It never changed the way I show up. Now, I want to contrast that with where I am now. I don't have a car. I'm carless. I don't even have a home. I'm homeless. And I do have designer clothes. I like to dress well. Not too well, actually. No, nobody would, I'm not wearing fancy suits, but I invest in what I wear. And I still think that's important. But I have less of it, and I don't keep trying to buy it. And why? Because what I did was I started investing in experiences instead. Because I was even having a conversation with a client of mine, and we were talking about, just stepping up in life. This is a very successful guy, very cool guy. I'm so blessed with the clients that I have right now. And he was talking about, like, hey, there's that guy who shows up to the party. He's got $2 in his pocket, but he knows how to, play a musical instrument, play the piano. He's the life of the party. People like him. He's social and extroverted. And, he may not have a high net worth or even very much money at all, but he brings value because of who he is. And that's such a powerful point, because the value that we bring from our financial success or rattling off our resume at a party, it just doesn't bring that much. It's not interesting. And so many of us are not interesting people. And it's not because we're inherently uninteresting. It's not because you were born with the uninteresting gene. It's because we don't do interesting things. We don't invest in interesting experiences. And I'll tell you right now, I have less. Now listen, my business is doing better. I'm making more money than I ever have. Okay. And my clients are happier than they've ever been, and they're getting better results than they've ever gotten. But I'm talking about the investment in material stuff. And I'm a minimalist when it comes to material stuff now. But you know what I do invest in is experiences. In fact, just tomorrow, it's my wife's birthday, October 9th. So it's October 8th today. And we're going to PP Islands. Now, I know that may sound funny to you, but it's PHI. It's one of the most beautiful islands in Phuket, Thailand, which is in the south on the ocean. Incredibly beautiful place. And that's what we invest in now. We don't invest in nice dinners. Okay, so we do go to nice dinners, but we don't invest in just buying a bunch of stuff. We're not in the mall shopping here like so many people. We're not buying a lot of stuff. We're not investing in just buying material things because it doesn't help us grow as people. And one of the things that we've learned is that for us to step up for our clients, to be coaches the way we are, because my wife is a coach too. I know we don't talk about her that much and what she does, but she's got clients. It's more for marketing, but we always end up, the truth is there's always life coaching involved with coaching. Okay, I would love to just say, hey, this is the workout you got to follow. This is the nutrition plan you got to follow. Go do it. You'll get results. Awesome. High five. Talk to you when you're ripped. Talk to you when you have 15 or 12% body fat or whatever. It doesn't happen like that. It's always life coaching. So for us to step up and have the effect on people, we need to invest in ourselves. And it doesn't come from wearing clothes or even going on vacation to a resort where you're going to be with a bunch of other people who are all just eating and drinking and laying by the pool. You've got to invest in experiences, something that gives you awe, something that has meaning for you, something that challenges you to grow and makes you uncomfortable. For example, one of the things that we're going to do before we leave is going to go scuba diving. Now, I've done scuba diving a few times, probably 4 or 5 or 6 times when I was in Tahiti, when I was in Cancun, Mexico. My wife tried it and it freaks her out. She never got past the pool. So we're going to go back into the pool and try to challenge her again so she steps up. She was also afraid to go on roller coasters, and we overcame that together when we went to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. We did that years ago. But what I'm telling you is you've got to invest in things that challenge you, things that create awe. Now, what's an example of that? Well, when I first got to Thailand, to Bangkok, Thailand, and we went to these temples, these Buddhist temples that are covered in gold and just incredible, I was in awe. I've never seen something so beautiful. I've seen big churches before, but this was so different and so far away from my experience that I was like, wow. It just hit me, the experience of it. It's not like watching it on YouTube or seeing a photo. It's right there in front of you and live in person. And the experience of being in a different culture, I was awestruck. I was awestruck at watching the way people live their lives. Those are the experiences that cause you to grow. And so if you're looking to step up in life, if you want more confidence, if you want more success, however you define that, whether that's financially or in some other way, if you want your kids to respect you more, you've got to invest in experiences that cause you to grow. Now, how do we know which experiences cause us to grow and which ones don't? The easiest way is to think about the things that you'd like to do, but you're kind of afraid of doing. So many people, when I told them I was going to just go to Thailand, they were like, but what about the language? What about, how are you going to talk to people? Do they speak English there? And the truth is, you learn some Thai, Sawasdee Krap, Sabadi Mai Krap, Kap Kun Kap, Hong Nam Uti Nai, you learn how to ask for the bathroom. You learn how to ask for things. And my Thai's not even that good. All right. My intonation's off and, I forget some of the phrases, but you learn, you step up and it challenges you to grow. And so think about those things right now that have been on your mind that you'd like to do, but they kind of make you uncomfortable. And I also want you to think about how you're investing in yourself right now. Are you spending a lot of money going out to dinner, whether that's nice restaurants or just having a bunch of beers and wings or tapas and white wine? Are you investing? How often do you go shopping and how much money do you spend there? How much do you spend if you're, a woman going to the salon? Or if a guy, to the salon too, I don't know. What do guys do? I forget. Or on sports, I guess, right? And ask yourself, how much am I growing from those experiences? Even when you go on vacation, how much are you growing from that? What are you doing on vacation to make you grow? Not to make you relax, but to make you grow. Did you go and take the tours to the ancient ruins? Or did you just go to restaurants and lay by the pool and drink alcohol? Because the answer to stepping up in life is so easy. The answer to having a better experience of life, it's so simple. It's just hard to do. And it comes with a little bit of discomfort, or maybe even a lot. But once you develop awareness of what you really want, how you've been playing small in life and where you've been spending your time and money. And once you realize if you ever want to achieve what you say you want, you're going to need to step up and go through the discomfort and get out of that rut you're in. Once you realize that, that's when the magic happens. That's when all of a sudden you're in the zone. You're in the zone with your family, your partner. You have a better relationship with your partner. If you've got kids, you've got a better relationship with your kids. If you're single, it's easier to go on dates and talk about something because you're an interesting person. Not the person who just, I watch TV at home. I'm the average American who watches 5 hours of TV, sits on their ass. I go to the gym 3 times a week. Boring. Nobody's interested in that except other boring people. But if you're listening to this and you want more in life, you don't want a boring person. You want someone who you really connect with, someone who lights you up inside. And if you want more success at work, if you want to close more deals or get a promotion, or if you want your employees to have a better relationship with your employees, you've got to step up. And I say this, and I want you to know this, because this is a secret, if you will, that not a lot of people know. The truth is, it doesn't matter how much money you make or what your job title is, or whether you're wearing, a $100 suit or a $10,000 suit. The truth is, are you stepping outside of your comfort zone or not? Are you taking steps towards growth, in other words, or are you not? You know how many people I've met who do extremely well financially, but are in a rut? Most of them. You know how many people I've met who are, doing okay and making middle class income or up, who are stuck in a rut? Most of them. The people who crush it in life are not the people who have the most money. There are losers who are worth many, many millions of dollars. Just come to Miami Beach sometime and I'll introduce you to some. Well, I guess not, because I have no plans of going back there anytime soon. But we look at those people online with more financial means, with more stuff than us, with nicer cars, nicer houses, nicer clothes, and we think that they really have it going on, but that's not the truth. If they truly have it going on, it's because they're leaning into discomfort and challenging themselves. Otherwise, they're just posting that stuff up because they feel like a loser inside, but at least they can pretend to other people by saying, hey, look, I have a more expensive car than you, so give me some likes on social media because I really need them because I feel like such a loser in my life. Because all I know how to do is just make money. And I don't have good relationships I don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a good relationship with my wife or husband or kids. It's these people who get stuck. So that's something that not a lot of people know, but I've seen it up close and personal many, many times. And the people who do best are the people who lean into discomfort and push for growth in their own lives. And the best thing about this is that you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be ripped. I'll tell you right now, if you start challenging yourself and pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, financially, that might look like working on your business to tighten up the loose ends you have, hiring a virtual assistant like I've had to do. If you're in a job that you don't like, that might look like, hey, you need to redo your resume. You need to start talking with people. You need to expand your network, talk to some recruiters. And you can see the same person in the mirror. But when you become the person who leans into discomfort and takes action, even if the steps are small at first, you see a person who's taking action. And as human beings, we all need to be in that journey of growth. And if we ever stop because you think you've made it to some destination, you've gotten off track, you've gotten stuck in a rut. There is no end. There is just the journey. And so we all need to be on that journey. And sometimes, don't get this wrong, sometimes the journey is relaxation. Sometimes the steps to growth are taking time off. I mean, how many people can go and push themselves and work 60-hour weeks or more, or go to the gym and do long workouts, but you ask them to meditate for 5 minutes and they can't even do it. They're like, I can't do this. It's not for me. I'm driving myself crazy. They start shifting and getting real antsy if you just ask them to take 5 minutes to meditate. So be clear about that, because some of you are high performers and you need to learn how to let loose and focus on things like meditation, or even having fun, or even having interests outside your work. But in the end, it's the same. We all take the journey. And if we ever stop on our journey, we get stuck in a rut. And that's when we feel bad. And unfortunately, for some of us, we get stuck for years. I know I was stuck for years buying expensive clothes, trying to impress people who I didn't even really care about. And everything that I wanted was in those experiences, in challenging myself. But I didn't have anybody telling me this message. I had nobody challenging me to do it. And so it took a long time. And so I'm trying to show up today so that you don't have to be like me and spend years stuck. Even if you've already spent years, at least you don't have to spend more years. So right now you've developed awareness. You've thought about what you want in life. You thought about how you're trying to go about doing it. And you're thinking about, am I really challenging myself by doing those things? And so now what I want to challenge you to do is to step up, to get uncomfortable, and to go make a plan to do something this weekend, I should say, because it's Friday, this weekend, to do something uncomfortable. Go take a martial arts class, go take a dancing class, go to a Toastmasters. There's so many things you can do. And that's what I challenge my clients to do in our coaching program, because the truth is you can change externally, but unless you focus internally and challenge yourself in the way that you haven't been, it's just going to be a superficial change, and you won't become that new person. That is the thing you are truly looking for. So if that sounds interesting to you, I want to invite you to hop on a call with me to talk about becoming a client, either for the one-on-one coaching or the group coaching. So if that sounds like something you are ready for, go to legendarylifeprogram.com/apply. That's legendarylifeprogram.com/apply. And maybe that's your uncomfortable thing. Maybe you've been thinking about this for years. I know some of the people who sign up to my coaching tell me, Ted, I've been hearing about this for years, but I felt like I finally got to the point where I was ready to change. I couldn't take anymore. I couldn't take the lack of results in my life anymore, and I want a change. So if you're looking for a transformation, not just physically, because I can get you to lose fat. It's not that hard. It's so easy to lose fat. It's so easy to learn how to do the right things and get results in the gym consistently and transform your body. What's harder is the internal stuff. It's the stepping up and going to the places that you haven't been going, that you've been neglecting, or maybe even not neglecting, but staying away from on purpose because it's so uncomfortable to go there. But that's where the growth is. As a quote that you've heard me say many times that keeps coming up for me, and for me personally, not just to share here, but the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. The experience of life that you're looking for is on the other side, or on the outside rather, of that zone of comfort that you're stuck in right now. That is really called a rut. So again, if that's something you're interested in, legendarylifeprogram.com/apply. Either way, take me up on the challenge. Do something this weekend that challenges you, that gets you outside of your comfort zone, and then report back to me and let me know how it worked for you. Let me know the growth that you experienced. Don't listen to me. Try it out for yourself. Report back. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Challenge yourself, and I'll speak to you next time.